Cats. Lovable, playful, often hilarious, but sometimes complete psychopaths. Moggies may be domesticated in our eyes, but they're wild at heart. Just like their bigger cousins around the world, cats are hunting machines. We've scoured the country for Britain's most calculating culprits.
Absolutely terrifying.
I just don't know if I can stay here with the cat because I just don't know what's going to happen.
No! You are not humping my dressing gown. Disgusting.
Some are so ferocious they regularly and savagely attack their loyal owners.
No.
Assault so brutal that they ended up in A&E.
Oh, flipping heck. I was on IV drip for 4 days.
They may look cute, but don't be fooled. These bloodthirsty kitties are making their owners' lives a misery.
You'll literally just turn.
The cat is bullying me.
He's the devil.
This is Psycho Pussies. Just ask any mouse its opinion and they'll tell you that they're squeaking terrified of cats, and quite rightly so. They're only a few strands of DNA away from a lion or a tiger.
I think cats are psychotic. You've got to remember that they are vicious animals. All that's different is they're a little bit smaller and they're a little bit cuter, but they are loco. Cats are loco, man.
I think if there's one word to describe cats, it's unpredictable. I like to think I know this little guy being mine, but I can never tell you what he's going to do next.
Well, cats are not dogs. That's the first thing I'd say. They are a hunter, but they're also the hunted, so they're a mixture of being savage and being frightened.
And when they're not hunting mice and small birds in the garden, they're often eyeing up a larger prey. Us.
Yes, you're living with a serial killer, frankly. If we were running around the savannah as primitive man, I think we'd be in their food chain.
If I were to fall down in my house and die, it's a possibility, then a dog would just lie by my body and wither away, right? But if you had cats, then a cat would sit on you and eat your face.
Sometimes I think cats do genuinely want to kill us. However, if you know your cat, there's definitely a love-hate thing going on.
My baby. In Cardiff, Kath is desperate for love from her 3-year-old tuxedo cat, Milo. This feline not only dresses like James Bond, he has a license to kill, too.
What was that for? Was that for any reason?
Milo reluctantly shares his home with his obedient owner.
What did I do to you then? Come on. You don't expect domestic cats to have that wild side that he has. Catch! But I just know he isn't normal. Don't do that!
Like many questionable purchases, Kath found Milo on the Gumtree website.
I would never think of going on Gumtree and going, I might get a cat from just some random person on the internet. What could possibly go wrong there? Oh, I've got a cat that's absolutely batshit crazy.
But as soon as Kath picked Milo up, she fell in love, which was lucky, because she didn't get a receipt.
At first, he was quite a living kitten, liked to be picked up and cuddled and stroked like a normal kitten would. And then a couple of weeks later, he didn't want you taking anything from him, and he was hissing and snarling at me and swiping with his claws. Nope. What are you doing now? Try and be nice for 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. He doesn't want to be picked up, so he'll just go for me instead. So a few more cats to add to all the other scars I have.
I'm glad I'm not his vet. I have patients like that. We have a system of black marking their files.
It's rather it's like an unhappy marriage, isn't it? She wants the affection that he can't give, and he doesn't want the affection that she gives. I mean, they're both unhappy.
No, get your claws. No. Get your claws out of my hand.
Last year, during a routine trip to the vets, Milo ramped up the aggression. He was the one dishing out the jabs.
He was like a wildcat. I've never seen this in him before. He just went for me and attacked me. He sunk his teeth into my thumb and he'd ripped my hand with his claws. There's blood all over the floor. My thumb had started to swell. So straight to A&E I went, and as soon as I got there and explained it was a cat bite, I was in and I was on IV drip for 4 days.
If left untreated, a cat bite could kill you. 100%, hands down.
I couldn't grip anything. It was numb, the feeling had gone in it. They did an x-ray. It'd gone straight through the thumb on both sides, through the tendon to the bone, but luckily it stopped at the bone.
These guys carry way more bacteria in their mouths and really nasty bacteria in their mouths comparatively to dogs and humans. Those bacteria can spread to your heart, they can spread to your spine, they can spread a lot of places. So if you are silly enough not to go to A&E, then yeah, you'll put yourself in trouble. Luckily, Kath was a sensible one.
When I get scratched by a cat, I would immediately go up and put some sort of antiseptic on it. What she's doing is what the zoo world calls unprotected contact, and she needs protected contact when she's dealing with this cat. Think through in advance, protective clothing, gloves, the lot, frankly.
I wouldn't go anywhere near Milo. He's nuts.
No, stay still a minute, because we need to clip these claws.
Faced with repeated attacks, Kath's taking action to blunt these killer claws.
Wait a minute. OK, 2 minutes, look, 2 minutes. Good God. OK. All right, OK. Nearly done, nearly done. Good boy. Stay still. Just let me do your other paw. That was my leg. No, just let me do the... All right. Oh, dear. Looks like he's had me. Oh, flipping heck. Crikey daisies. I think he went in my vein there.
Oh, there's so much blood. You should have given a warning before showing that. It's hideous. It's like some horror film from the 70s, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, with cats.
Well and truly had me then. Thank you, Milo. I got one claw done, one paw. I still need to get the other one done.
Outdoor cats generally don't need their claws clipping. They should shed the sort of the outside part of their claw when they're climbing trees, scratching up, that sort of thing. But I completely understand why Kath tried.
All joking aside, she needs to get rid of that cat. She needs to get rid of the cat.
This cat might be very happy if he was homed into some stables or a farm where somebody would put down food for him regularly and he could spend his energies hunting mice.
Should we try again?
Some cats are affectionate balls of fur, while others are aggravated balls of fury.
There's my leg.
When cats attack, they're rarely doing it for fun.
Ow!
An inbuilt lust for blood can mean that your hand looks like a juicy bird in the eyes of these domestic predators.
Oh my God.
That was partly my fault. We were playing.
Like any carnivorous predator, these guys have big canine teeth and big claws. They are their defense mechanism, but they're also their attacking mechanism. So if they are in attack mode or in defense mode, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get scratches and you're gonna get bites.
Ow, stop it, ow! They are killers, they are hunters, they are murderers.
Wow! Cats scratch and bite because they have to. They've got to communicate to us. So if they don't like what we're doing to them, they have only one option, which is either to wriggle free from us, and if they can't do that, they've got to scratch and bite.
And in South Yorkshire, something truly terrifying is stalking the deepest depths of Barnsley. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the kitchen, this is 11-year-old Moggy Jaws. We're going to need a bigger litter tray. Jaws is an angry cat. From the minute he wakes up, his killer claws are ready for action.
He can be a loving, lovely cat, and then all of a sudden he turns into a psycho cat.
Crazy, mental. We call him the ninja.
Jaws lives in the family home with his current handler, Jackie.
Everybody's got somebody crazy in the family. We've got a cat.
The first victim Jaws psychotically stalks is the local postie.
This cat is hunting the post. If you think about it, cats sit outside mouse holes waiting for mice to come out. And this is what's happening. There's a sort of square mouse hole, and instead of mice coming out, there's letters coming out. So what fun it is.
Right, a game to a cat is you offer it something, then you take it away, you offer it something. That's like 3 or 4 hours. You want it? You're not having it. That's it.
After successfully killing the post, Jaws turns his angry claws on Jackie.
What have I told you? Don't you dare. You've done. Drawn blood on me, look.
Maybe friend of the family, Nicola, can give Jaws a more glowing character reference.
He is absolutely psycho, you know, really, really scary. Stuff you get nightmares from.
Or maybe not.
We've never known him be nice. You know, from being a kitten, he's always pretty much had that sort of side to him. He'll be nice one moment and then all of a sudden he just attacks you. We still come round. Sometimes it's, you know, you just got to see the funny side of it. You know, your friends have got a psycho cat, but we're still friends, even though he's absolutely terrifying.
You know what's going to happen. It's so predictable.
Attacking the post and humans is just a warm-up. What sends Jaws into a rampant rage of epic proportions is dogs.
Well, we have to bring the dog because we don't like to leave him on his own, and he's a sociable dog, but then all hell can, you know, break loose when the cat sees him. We get terrifying things.
It's role reversal, definitely. Dogs are frightened on it. Trust me.
That is absolutely... I am going to mess you up. So that's a really classic noise for a cat that's just going to come and hit you. If I get that in a consult room, I'm out the door.
It's like they're coming from the bowels of hell. You know, this tiny little creature is making this deep, dark growl.
This is a warning. Back off.
Absolutely terrifying. Oh, really, really scary. You just think you're going to get bit at any moment. It's like something out of a horror film. It's really, really frightening.
That dog's a big wuss, though, to be fair. That's a classic. Oh my goodness, he hurt me!
And also, it's Jaws' house, right? The house belongs to Jaws. So suddenly, stupid dogs come in. It's like, I don't want you here. Get out. It's defending its territory.
Number one, don't take the dog round. You're just winding the cat up and you're putting the dog in the firing line.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
Over in Nuneaton in Warwickshire, Fiona's got a similar problem with her cat Diesel.
The first day they came downstairs and just took such an instant dislike into the dogs, and within about 10 minutes he had his first full-on attack.
But Fiona's come up with a genius plan. She's built an impenetrable wall between Diesel and the 3 dogs. Maybe she can send her design to Jackie and Jaws.
I had to put 2 baby gates up, and I have a nice daily commute of walking out the front door and the back door to see the dogs and then go back to be with the cat.
I like the double gate. It's a really good idea, and I'll take that tip myself next time I'm seeing a cat who's attacking dogs. So thank you.
You're putting a child gate there? That is ridiculous. That cat is going to either jump over it, is going to dig a tunnel under it, is going to go out and go round the other side. You're going to go out, you're going to come back, the cat is going to be on the other side of the 2 gates, and you won't have a clue how it got there. Cats is smart.
Maybe so, Ian. But surely it's got to be worth a go for Reuben and Jaws. Not all dogs are wusses like Reuben. Some are ready to rumble.
No. That was savage. That poodle should not be living with cats. That's not okay.
But the cats are fighting back. We're crossing live to Madison Square Garden for our main event, Whisker Mania 17.
Oh, that's like a WWE move.
Technically perfect. I mean, Big Daddy and Hulk Hogan would be proud of those moves. They wouldn't do it if they didn't like it.
In Hemel Hempstead, fearless feline Kits is ruling the roost. 25-year-old Yasmin didn't quite get the lovable Moggy of her dreams.
I was speaking to a friend and they said to me, oh, you should look at Devon Rexes. Online it says they're super affectionate, really loving, they like to play. They're the most dog-like cat you can get, so you can teach them things. They're really eager to learn and they just want to be involved with just humans. They just always want to be around and love on you. So yeah, I went and had a little look and fell in love.
But this cutie wasn't quite what it said on the tin. This little pocket rocket is more T-Rex than Devon Rex.
I had him for about 3 or 4 months when he started to act a bit differently. I'd be sitting on the sofa and he would just fly at my face and bite me, and just out of nowhere, and it would really upset me because I thought, why is this cat doing this to me? No! Ouch! My theory as to why he behaves like this is just because he's the devil. Come to haunt me. Wait.
I would suggest that she's not quite got the right tagline for a Devon Rex. Rexes, as a general rule, are quite chill. However, I personally think they're not that dog-like. Bengals and Maine Coons are probably more dog-like than these guys, and she might have got a dud here.
Why should a Devon Rex be any different from a normal cat? I mean, he's just behaving like a cat.
Yasmin works as a model. Her face has appeared in magazines, but this hasn't stopped Kits from focusing his rage directly towards her moneymaker.
Ow. I really feel like he hates my face because he always goes for it like that. Like, I don't know if I can live with this cat anymore. He's really viciously attacking me. No! Ow!
Here's what I would do if I had a cat that kept going for my face. This is just thinking out loud. I wouldn't lift it up and hold it near my face.
He does treat me like his prey. So if I run out of a room, he will chase me and try and get me. So I'm definitely his source of prey that he's like constantly on the hunt for. Ow! Which I don't think is a great relationship for an owner and a pet, for them to think, like, if he was bigger, I would be dead. He would have eaten me by now, like 100%. Ow!
Yasmin is right. This cat is hunting her. I mean, it's doing predatory play, which is very, very rewarding for the cat.
Because now I know he's in this sort of mood. If I do try and like calm the situation, like, stroke him, he won't have it. He'll just go for me. He does like a death roll and just grabs my arm. Ah!
I think Yasmin is encouraging him. In a lot of these shots, you can see her really hand in, and then he winds up, and as soon as he's in that mode, she can't do anything right.
I think I was messaging my boyfriend saying I just don't know if I can stay here with the cat because I just don't know what's going to happen. He just keeps jumping at me.
My immediate recommendation for Yasmin is start letting him outside, because he has got so much energy, he needs to go and expend it, and he's probably not doing that inside. And if he was to go outside, I bet you all my life savings, that cat would get better.
And I would say to Yasmin, first thing is, you've got to wear protective clothing in the house. Long sleeves, please.
Ow!
If the cat is going for your ankles more than the rest of your body, I would just say, well, put on wellies when you walk into the house.
You know those masks you can get for fencing, those kind of steel masks? Wear one of those around the house.
Ow!
We've been across Britain in search of cats behaving badly. Those who unashamedly rule the roost, and us.
Dogs, they have masters. Cats, they have servants. They are going to do what they want. They are completely wild at heart.
Oh, what I prefer most of all is that moment when you ask them to do something and they give you a long look which shows they perfectly understand, and then they ignore you.
Velvet I've had for 18 years, she's nearly 20. The girls I've only had for a few months. They seem to be having lots of meetings together, and I'm sure when I came home the other day, some of the furniture had been moved and the TV was on, right? And I'm just waiting for the time I go home and my key doesn't fit the lock. And I'm like, what's this? And I realise they've changed the lock, and I look up and the 3 cats are just sat on the windowsill, like looking and laughing.
Although they may think they're kings of the domestic jungle, some cats are a few whiskers short of a full bowl.
Oh, I love cats.
In Cardiff, Sphinx cat Ripley may look like a small frozen chicken, but there's nothing foul about his IQ.
Ow. Don't start for a second. The reasons why I picked a Sphinx cat is because they are a bit more intelligent than normal species of cats. Like, eventually you can actually train them to use toilets. Right, that's my nipple.
Toilet training aside, the aptly named Ripley loves ripping into Lee.
I think he's got bloodlust. He's got a taste for human blood.
But the biggest problem is that this furless kitty also has an insatiable taste for human food, and he'll do whatever it takes to get it.
If he can't have what I've got, then chomp.
Ripley is completely nuts about Nosh, so much so he's making dinner times a harrowing experience for Lee.
Mine. Can I have one meal without you in it? If there's no food in the room, he's a really placid, tame, calm, chilled cat. The second that he can smell something cooking, or if I'm in the fridge, or if I got a takeaway, he's in there. So it's not very often I've had a meal which Ripley hasn't snatched half of it or pushed it on the floor. He was after my pizza, and it was 1 slice left, so I was like, keeping that for work for breakfast. Can't beat a bit of pizza for the next day. And I closed the lid, put it on the floor. When I came back to my pizza, Ripley urinated on top of the box, so I wouldn't let him have it. Spite, pure spite. So I had to chuck the whole thing out.
When I can't get into a pizza box, I pee on it. It's frustrating, I want pizza.
Because this cat has got so focused on food, it could smell where the food was, and that it peed out of the stress of frustration.
I hate to say it, Lee, it's completely your fault. There is a really easy fix here. Give Ripley his dinner when you eat your dinner. Therefore, he's not going to want your dinner.
At his wit's end, Lee is now fighting back.
Water sprays are very bad indeed. No need to use one on cats or dogs. It usually makes things worse. You're upping his stress levels, which is a really stupid idea, and he might pee again in the house. So no punishment. Instead, do proper management of who eats where and when.
Family dinners with this hangry Sphinx are even causing a rift between Lee and his partner, Mark.
I think I told Ripley off, or I sort of pushed him away with my foot, and he did tell me off for that. But
I'm allowed to do it, you're not.
Yeah, exactly. But you are quite forgiving straight away afterwards.
You just can't discipline a face like he got. It's just lush. You can't do no wrong.
No. But in the instance when he's like laying in your bowl of noodles, then
Yeah, but he didn't mean it. Everyone likes Chinese food.
This is it.
This is exactly what happens at a consult. Sometimes one owner will tell me one story, and then you can just see their partner going, he does it all the time. He does this, he does that. It's like, oh, God, OK, just tell me what you're really doing.
If you love your pets, as I do, let them eat from your plate. Let them eat from your fork if you want. Don't see anything weird about that at all. I think it's perfectly natural, and I think Lee is actually very, very selfish. Don't think Lee should be allowed to have pets because, oh no, don't eat from my bowl. I'll have Ripley because I don't think Lee deserves Ripley. So, Lee, if you could send Ripley to me, I will look after him and I will love him in a way that you cannot.
And talking of food, time for a quick snack before we move on. A nice, fresh salad. I've got my lettuce, tomatoes. Where on earth did I leave my cucumber?
I do have a little bit of a problem with putting a cucumber behind a cat and shocking them. As funny as it is, it's not the fairest thing to do.
Cats jumping straight up in terror will never not be funny. It's always the best. And everyone's going, oh, that's so cruel. Get lost, it's a cucumber. I ain't gonna kill him.
Sort of the most accepted theory is because they stem from desert cats, snakes in the deserts resemble cucumbers.
My theory is that cats usually know everything about their territory. And then when they turn around, they see this weird thing, and so they jump. Because if you're a prey animal, the most sensible thing is to jump up high and try and escape whatever it might be.
We may be miles off. Maybe there was a killer cucumber back in the day that ate loads of cats, I don't know.
Back in Wales is a cat who eats cucumbers for breakfast. 3-year-old maniacal moggy Milo.
You in there?
What Kath bought as a cuddly kitten on Gumtree now unleashes savage, blood-soaked attacks.
Yes, look at all the blood on there from you. Can you smell that? No. No, he's had it. OK, out you go. Come on, out my sight. He's had it. Yeah, he did. He had my face. Yeah. He jumped up off the floor. I don't mind my arms being marked and my hands, but not when he attacks my face. I mean, he's been so close to my eyes a few times, my eyelids and just underneath, and it is delicate skin there anyway, but no, I'll just leave it for now. He won't let me do anything else to him now. I just deal with him because that's the way he is. I'd like to understand the way he is and why he's like that, but I accept that's just him.
And if Milo can't get at Kath, he lashes out at his much sweeter look-alike, Tilly.
Milo! No. Don't be nasty to her, please. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that Milo does to Tilly. He bops her on the head all the time, pulls her fur out, pins her down on the floor, scratches with his back legs into her. Yeah, he can be quite nasty to her. He upsets her, but it hurts me because she's so Tim and Cat, and she doesn't deserve to be treated like that. No.
Cats don't like each other. They hate each other. They are territorial and they're aggressive and they will compete for you. They will compete for their litter tray. They'll compete for going outside. They'll compete for their favourite spots. They'll compete for food. They'll compete for everything. So actually, if you've got a cat that is prone to stress, having another cat is just going to push them over the edge. 100% that is dominance. You need to try and remove the stress from both of them because clearly something's stressing Milo and he's taking it out on Tilly.
If she is really suffering, if there's tufts all over the living room floor, if she's terrified all the time, then for the sake of the victim, we have to rehome one or other of the cats.
Leave her alone. Now stop it.
Put it on Gumtree. Say one cat, he's lovely, and then when someone comes to collect the cat, you move house. Just move.
Here's a nice location. A remote love shack in Wiltshire, home to the suave and debonair D'Artagnan. His owner, Sarah, was looking for a dashing hero to sweep her off her feet.
Yeah, I thought about getting a cat when I split from my ex. I miss having a cat and I thought, oh, I'll get a cat, cheer me up.
When Sarah first laid eyes on young D'Artagnan, she was the smitten kitten.
When we got him home, I thought, oh, I actually really love you. You're so cute, you're handsome. He would sleep on your lap, he would like curl up, but then he was very sort of bitey and scratchy. But yeah, I'd say typical kitten. No. Which gradually got a bit worse, I reckon.
But this gorgeous 2-year-old silver fox actually proved to be less of a fighter and more of a lover.
So yeah, D'Artagnan likes to hump my dressing gown.
Tell me something. I want to know what are the rules of the game. The game of love.
D'Artagnan is more Errol Flynn than Mike Tyson. The swashbuckling hunk loves to get down and dirty in the bedroom.
Anything soft, he'll just hump.
D'Artagnan, no. You are not humping my dressing gown.
No. It was disgusting because he had this weird, awful smell. It's like, please don't do that on my dressing gown. And literally, I just have to constantly wash it every 5 minutes. It's like, oh.
I'll let you use your imagination to know what that smell is.
Oh my God, it's like a cat porno. This is the sort of thing I have to deal with on a daily basis. D'Artagnan humping my blanket. Disgusting.
I think that Sarah is at fault by leaving what is actually a very sexy dressing gown. I'm struggling to control myself here. She shouldn't be leaving it on the bed.
Disgusting.
I'm a bit worried about D'Artagnan's wedding tackle, actually, because it is just possible that he's got something going on there which means that he's feeling irritated, something rather like cystitis. And so I'd want a vet to see him.
Humping items of clothing, humping people is generally a dominance behaviour. He is laying claim.
I don't think he wants to have sexual intercourse with her. I think it may be a sign that he's very moved and aroused by her in an emotional way. The problem here isn't the cat, really, it's Sarah's feelings about the cat, because she's embarrassed by it.
You are not humping my dressing gown.
But, you know, why would we be embarrassed by what is natural behaviour? This kind of behaviour is very common among humans who pleasure themselves, I'll use the nice word.
But it doesn't take much for this little Lothario to go from turned on to turned off.
Ow! He loves a little neck massage, but that's all you can do is just touch him around the back of his ears and his neck and his head. But if you start to then move onto his body, then he will scratch or bite you. Doesn't like that. No. Ow, no. And then he tends to attack more at night. In the day, he does sleep a lot because he goes out at night, doesn't come home till like 4 in the morning, so God knows what he does. No. I think he's just a naughty boy. Typical boy.
But he's a boy who won't take no for an answer.
No. No. No.
Well, firstly, no is not a thing that a cat will understand. She's also actually, without meaning to, encouraging him. So hand towards and then moving away, that's a game.
They're on the wrong show. They should be on like Jeremy Kyle or something, sorting this out.
No.
And when it comes to rival suitors, D'Artagnan is definitely a jealous lover.
His scratches can be quite bad, especially like with an ex as well. He's really tore his arms to shred. So I can't have people going from my house being like abused by this animal. So yeah, it needs to be sorted, I think.
Basically, they are in a monogamous relationship. This is possession, absolutely, for me. The humping of the stuff, the attacking her and dominating her and then attacking other suitors, I mean, put that into a human, that's essentially a jealous boyfriend.
I mean, I still love him. I wouldn't ever get rid of him now.
Cats rule our lives. They're Britain's most popular pet. There are 11 million of these pampered pussies swanning around our homes. But how do we know what they're thinking? How can we tell if they want stroking? Or if they want to rip our arms off?
Ow, no.
Well, with cats, it's all about the telltale signs.
Here's what you have to do with cats, right, is you've got to read them. Sometimes they like being stroked and sometimes they don't like being stroked. And when one of my cats is wagging its tail, well, I'm not going to stroke it then. I might talk to it
Tail up is a sign that the cat is relaxed and walking towards either another cat or a human that it likes, and that usually there's a little twist at the top forward. If the tail is right between its leg, it is a sign of extreme fear. And then if they're really going to attack, the tail will go up at the beginning and then down again, slightly covering the tender bits underneath the tail.
Flicking of tails and bushy tails are generally the things to watch for when they're just not happy.
In leafy Cambridgeshire lives a feral cat who's angrier than most.
Sid, do you like this little mousie? Obviously not.
Janice Bryant has learnt to accept that her ginger moggy is a cat who's oh so kitty vacant.
Oh, Sid Vicious! I decided to name Sid Vicious, basically because he hissed. And I'm of the punk generation, and I remembered Sid Vicious, and he was complete anarchy, and so is Sid.
I would be very wary about calling a cat Sid Vicious, because I don't know if you know the Sid Vicious story, but he ended up killing his girlfriend and then killing himself. That's what's going to happen there.
Psycho Sid comes and goes as he pleases, up to 5 or 6 times a day, just to feast on tuna, biscuits and cheese, which we all know is the feline version of sex, drugs and rock and roll.
This is an incredible improvement on his behaviour.
Don't touch me when I'm eating. She's touching Sid. Don't touch anybody when they're eating. Let them enjoy their meal. Go up to someone in a restaurant now and just stroke the back of their head. You see what happens.
I know it still looks a bit vicious. I'm really pleased. Oh, famous last words. My first encounter with Sid was when I saw this little face at the hatch, and it's almost like he had a pleading little look in his eyes, and that was a starving cat. And then I thought, I'm going to try and gain his trust. I can't let him starve. I'm not going to leave him out there. So I'm going to encourage him to keep coming in, and I'll do my best for him. No?
Why would you invite a feral cat into your house? You might as well invite a wolf or a tiger or a snake or Harold Shipman. It's a crazy thing to do. They don't play by society's rules. That cat is not going to sit there on your lap while you watch EastEnders. That cat is going to come in, eat its food, have a swipe at you, probably hump something, and then go. 6 times a day.
I absolutely love Janice. She's a crazy cat lady, just like I am. And actually, she's doing a very good job. If you look at Sid's body language, he walks towards her with his tail up. Tail up means I'm friendly, I like you, and I feel happy.
This cat, I think there's something medically wrong with it. Eating 5 or 6 times a day, a good portion of food, and being that skinny, I'd be suspicious.
Couldn't stroke his body. He'd lash out. But with food, I gradually managed to get to the point where he'd trust me a little bit.
If there were cat swear words, those are them.
What's not to understand about a growl and a yowl?
That's where I am now, trying to build on that trust. He's still got his anger management issues, but we are working on them.
He's hypothyroid. I'm telling you now. And I can't tell without a blood test, but he's a hypothyroid cat. He's skinny, he eats loads, he's probably eating at other places, so he's a hypothyroid cat.
Sick.
One of the most common diseases we see in older cats, and he looks like a bit of an older cat, is a thing called hyperthyroidism, which is an overactivity of the thyroid gland in the neck, which basically upregulates metabolism, upregulates everything else. Your heart flies, you're constantly on edge, and you lose weight. And you eat loads, you pee loads, you drink loads, and it's just one of these diseases that we see cats get into. And very, very commonly, their fuse is very short.
The life of a feral cat is not a good one. They won't last long. He's had a hard life, so Sid is what he is, and I love Sid for what he is.
Sid doesn't like you. Just letting you know. Facts.
I love Janice. I think she's an absolute hoot. You can tell she knows cats, and actually, she's probably the best thing that's ever happened to Sid.
Never mind the fur licks. Looks like Sid is hitting the road once more. Next stop on his wild ride, the neighbour's house. What goes on tour stays on tour.
Ultimately, Sid's a wild cat, and, you know, I do things on his terms, and it's his choice at the end of the day. I don't feel used by Sid. Sid's a challenge.
Sid is a player, Sid is a legend, and then I bet at night time he goes off and talks to all the other Toms in the alleyway, going, I got 6 meals today from those idiots. Tomorrow I'm aiming for 7.
So, despite all the bloodshed, heartache, and bizarre noises, we're still besotted with cats.
That's my nipple.
No. But why do we continue to put up with these mad moggies in our homes?
I love their aloof nature. You can think you know your cat, and then they'll just go and do something completely random.
It's a myth that we have domesticated cats. We haven't. They have, in some ways, kind of domesticated us.
They do manipulate us very much, but I think we cat lovers like being manipulated. So, you know, does it matter? No, it doesn't.
It's unfair to say that all cats are complete psychopaths. But if these kitty criminals grew a pair of thumbs, we'd more than likely have a bloodbath on our hands. Just remember, your moggy is probably downstairs right now, plotting your downfall and sharpening its claws. Stay safe, people.